What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Birdsinthetrap MMA back at it again. Okay, today I'm bringing you another banger. Okay, we're gonna be talking about every champion versus champion matchup in the UFC. We're gonna break it down and give a prediction on just who would beat who. This is a friendly competition video. Okay, you know what I mean? Obviously, a lot of these matchups are never gonna take place, so we don't have to take this video too serious. But I just thought it'd be a fun one, and I got a comment recommending that I do this video, so I will find the comment and put it up on the screen right now, and yeah, give that guy a shout out. Yeah, I'm doing this for you. All right. We're also going to be adding in one matchup between top contenders, and I'm going to get into how we're going to do that right now. Okay. How are we doing this matchmaking? First of all, we're going to be matching up every champion with the next division's champion going up, okay? So you see examples, flyweight versus bantamweight, welterweight versus middleweight. We're not going to be going down. It's going to be going in succession upwards. And then to make the contender matchups a little more interesting, we're going to be putting the top 5 of the certain division on a spin wheel, and then spin it for that division, and then do the same for the next division up, and whoever it lands on that wheel will take on the first pick, if you get what I'm saying. So if the wheel randomly lands on Brian Ortega, not Brandon, Brian Ortega, who needs to fight, and then like the light wheel lands on Dustin Poirier, then that's the matchup we're going to do, okay? And I'm doing that because it kind of shuffles things up, you know what I mean? It's not number 1 contender versus number 1, number 2 versus number 2, number 3, number 3. I like that it kind of shuffles it up, and it gives a chance for like number 5 to take on number 1, And plus, matching up the entire top 5 against each other, that would just take forever, okay? Also worth mentioning that I said at the bottom here, I think it's a known fact, okay, I'd hope everyone knows this, that the smaller the division, the more skilled they are, the faster they are. Obviously, like bantamweight is more skilled than welterweight, for example. So I'm just putting that out there that we are going to be accounting for that, but we're still going to be using logic, all right? And our first matchup where logic plays a big factor, okay, is Alexandre Pantoja versus Sean O'Malley. Okay, guys. As you can see, I've put Pantoja in the red and O'Malley in the green because I think O'Malley would win this fight by knockout. Okay, I love Pantoja. I love his story, but this is one of the matchups where size matters. Okay, flyweights. I don't think there are many flyweights that could do well at bantamweight because a lot of bantamweights are pretty big. So, although I think Pantoja is like pound for pound more skilled, I think he has the better skill set. I think his grappling is way better. He obviously, I don't think he can compete with O'Malley on the feet. And O'Malley is way bigger, just not only in weight, but also in height, as we see, 5'5" to 5'11". O'Malley's younger, longer reach. Actually, me and O'Malley have the same birthday. It's coming up soon, guys. So, but the speed difference isn't major between these two divisions, I don't think, because they are both small. Like the flyweight speed and bantamweight speed, I feel like is pretty on par with each other, okay? So, I just can't see this fight going 25 minutes without O'Malley finding the KO, okay? Now, where O'Malley would start to have some trouble is if Pantoja gets on his back. I think that could be the end of the fight. You know what I mean? However, I don't think Pantoja can get there. You know what I mean? I think O'Malley, I'm sure he's been working on his grappling defense, although we didn't have to see it much versus Aljamain. I'm sure he's getting better and better. I'm sure that the camp for that fight improved his game a lot. So in this hypothetical matchup, guys, I'm taking Sean O'Malley by KO just because I think that the fight can't go 25 minutes without O'Malley finding his chin. Okay, now moving on. let's spin the wheel to match up our contenders. Okay, we have the top 5 of each division right here. As you guys can see, we're going to be bringing in the spin wheel and seeing what it lands on. Okay, guys, we're over here on the spin wheel. We got the top 5 in the flyweight division. Let's give it a go and see where we land. And Brandon Moreno, the #1 contender, probably the next best guy in the division. Well, obviously the next best guy in this division. So cool. I like that for the first matchup. Now let's head over to the bantamweight top 5 and see who we're going to be facing Brandon Moreno against. And it's it's Cory Sandhagen. Okay, let's get into this. All right, I'll see you boys back on the slideshow. All right, everyone, I have just put together our Cory Sandhagen versus Brandon Moreno matchup, and as you can tell by the text color, I think Sandhagen wins this fight. In my text brick there, I say that if this is a 3-rounder, I'm picking Sandhagen by decision. If it's a 5-rounder, I'm picking Cory Sandhagen to finish Moreno in the 4th or 5th round. Moreno has never fought someone this big, you know what I mean? And honestly, guys, this is like a mirror matchup to Pantoja versus O'Malley, you know what I mean? Pantoja and Moreno are clearly very even. They had a very close fight, and Sandhagen is not as good as O'Malley on the feet, but he makes up for it on the ground. All right, so I think that the grappling is probably pretty even between these two, but the striking and the power clearly favors Sandhagen. Sandhagen isn't even known for being the biggest power puncher. You know, his highlight reel KOs have came with his legs, but I still think he would eventually piece up Moreno enough to get the TKO, maybe find like a knee in the clinch or a nasty elbow on the break. And I think that's how Sandhagen would win this fight. Moreno's best path to a victory is a rear naked choke because, like I said, I do think the grappling is pretty even besides the strength and size discrepancy. But I think that, you know, if Moreno can make it to Sandhagen's back, the fight is likely over. You know, it depends on Sandhagen's grappling defense since the Aljamain fight. And yeah, like I said, guys, super similar to my breakdown on the O'Malley-Pantoja matchup. It's funny how similar this is. All right, moving on to another similar matchup that we've seen before. Sean O'Malley versus Alexandre Volkanovski. This is Volk versus Yair, but O'Malley is a little worse on the feet, in my opinion. I think Yair is a better offensive striker. And if you disagree with that, I'm assuming you just haven't really watched Yair fight. I think he's on the next level, purely offensive striking, okay? Not overall, not defensive, not purely offensive. I think Yair is better than O'Malley. So, you know, O'Malley has nothing but a puncher's chance here. Now, that's what I said about going into his fight with Aljamain. But Aljamain, he let the crowd get to him. He let the fans' public perception get to him. Volk is not the type of guy. I can't do a Volk accent that well. But Volk is not the type of guy to let that happen. You're done. You know, Volk isn't falling for that shit. Volk is so smart. And I think it'd go just like the Yair fight, you know. Takedown after takedown, control after control. Eventually O'Malley gets worn down and TKO'd on the ground. You know, I think Volk might even be able to submit him, just like I thought Aljo would, but he didn't. But nonetheless, guys, we see here, size-wise, you know, O'Malley has the advantage. He's younger, he's taller, he has the longer reach, but Volk is just... I still look at O'Malley as a frail little boy, you know what I mean? Smokes weed all day, testosterone not as high as Volkanovski. Volkanovski's eating red meat, he's staying clean, he's staying in shape year-round. He's probably getting stronger every fight, you know what I mean? Especially after that bulk up to lightweight. I'm sure he has some man strength that O'Malley has never felt in the cage. The experience is on Volk's side, the 5-round experience. Yeah, you have to go with Volkanovski in this matchup, guys. If you're picking O'Malley, you're probably a super fan of him and you're banking on him to land the right hand, which, you know, I don't blame you, all right? But Volk wins this, okay? Moving on to our contenders matchup, okay? As you can see here, this is the top 5, and we're going to spin the wheel for these guys. All right, guys, for bantamweight, it is going to be Merab. Okay. Fuck me, it's Merab. Let's see who Merab is going to be taking on in the top 5 at featherweight. Looks like it's going to be Arnold Allen. All right, this is a matchup where I think I might be picking the lighter guy. Let's see. All right, guys, as you can see, I have matched these guys up. I don't have the statistics up here anymore because I think this video is going to be like 40 to 50 minutes, and I don't want to delay the process of me getting this out. Anyways, guys, I am well aware Allen is bigger. Clearly, he's in the bigger division. Clearly, he's the bigger guy on screen, okay? But the EPO of Merab is just too enhancing, okay? I have to go with him by decision. I see this going down similarly to the Jan fight. And if you guys disagree with my pick on this, I would love to hear why you pick Allen. But I know Allen has better striking too. Allen does have better striking, but he also doesn't have much power, guys. His only recent finish in the UFC is over a weight-drained Dan Hooker, and it was a measly up against the cage TKO. You know what I'm saying? No recent finishes. Now, with that being said, same for Merab, okay? Merab doesn't get finishes for shit. Neither of these guys do. But I see this fight playing out just like Merab versus Petr Yan. Just Merab, relentless pace, relentless pressure, and I think Allen can defend one takedown, maybe two, but I don't think he can defend 10 takedowns a round. You know what I mean? Even if he gets his way up, Jan is just going to keep, or not Jan, my bad, Merab is just going to keep taking him down over and over. And yeah, I see this going down just like Merab versus Petr Yan. I'm picking Merab. Alright, let's move on to the next matchup, guys. This is one of the few, actually, I think this is the only fight on the list that actually happened. It actually took place. And we saw Islam Makhachev defeat Alexandre Volkanovski, which pains me to say. I love Volk. He's the profile picture of this channel for now. But, I mean, what can I say, guys? This was an amazing fight. I think this was probably one of the highest skilled fight in all of MMA between the two of them. Two modern pound-for-pound champions going at it. And, I mean, it was amazing. You know what I mean? I think Volk does really well at lightweight after seeing it. I think he beats Gaethje and Poirier. As soon as it hits the ground, it's over. I don't know if I'd pick Volk to beat my boy Charles. I'm wearing an Oliveira shirt right now, so I can't pick him to beat Charles. But this, it was one of the best fights ever in terms of skill and just guts. I scored this fight for Islam. Upon rewatching it a few times live, I thought Volk did it. I was not saying this was a robbery, because this was never a robbery. It was a close fight. But this fight, if anyone wins, I think it's Islam. And, I'm not going to break down a rematch for this fight because both guys are not fighting each other next. And I don't want to overlook their next opponents and get ahead of ourselves yet. If this fight happens again, then it happens again. But both guys have a fight booked. Islam's fighting in a few weeks, and it's coming out that Volk is going to fight in January. So, we'll see how both of those fights go. Maybe it'll happen at UFC 300. I'd love that. But, yeah, amazing fight, guys. Okay, at this point, you guys are probably starting to get the theme. We're going to spin the wheel for our contenders matchup. As you can see, we have the top 5 for both of these divisions. And starting with featherweight, let's see who we get. Okay, it's going to be Max Holloway. All right, let's see who Max Holloway takes on at lightweight. Depending on who it is, this could be a rematch or a trilogy. It's going to be, come on. Yes, Charles Oliveira. This fight happened before. If you guys know, then you know that Oliveira basically had like a esophagus injury, a freak injury that happened, and it got him out of here. So let's break this fight down, guys. I'm pretty excited. Charles Oliveira submits Max Holloway. I don't want to hear anything else, okay? I know that they fought before, but that was a young quitter Oliveira, okay? He's a different beast now. I think the grappling is obviously better for Charles. It's better for Charles. And I think that the striking, it may be even, but the variety is not, okay? Max is a volume guy, not really known for his power. Great striker, great boxing. But Oliveira is known for his power. You know what I mean? He is known for his variety. His kicks are next level. He just caught Beneil with the head kick, you know? I think he has better leg kicks. And overall, a better variety of striking. I think his clinch is way better. I think his elbows are better. So I guess the striking isn't as even as I thought originally, now that I'm talking. But, Charles is a filled out lightweight these days. Max Holloway, we've seen him at lightweight. And, assuming he doesn't get a year to bulk up, Charles is going to be the bigger man. He's going to be stronger. And I think once this fight hits the mat, it's over. Oliveira, submission within 3 rounds. And if you want to debate me on this, go ahead and do it in the comments. I don't think anyone's going to change my mind on this. Okay, guys, moving on to our next champion versus champion matchup. Islam Makhachev, I think he would beat Leon Edwards, okay? I think that Makhachev beats Leon and I said Lean Edwards. Oh my god. That's okay. Ignore that, guys. Anyways, I think Islam beats Leon or Colby pretty easily. And I can't believe that people really think Colby's a Terminator. Colby works him easily. Colby doesn't work anybody, guys. His best win is a 48-47 over a washed-up RDA. And this isn't about Colby, guys, but I just see people picking Colby over Islam. What has Colby done? What has Colby done? Seriously. Anyways, I think that Leon has great takedown defense, but he also hasn't fought Islam Makhachev. Not that Islam is necessarily a chain wrestler, but when Islam really, really commits to a takedown, he tends to get it. You know what I mean? And I think he'd be able to scoop Leon down against the cage. Like Usman did a few times in their second fight. I think Makhachev would follow that blueprint. Now, Makhachev's ground and pound, it's not insane like Khabib's ground and pound or his submission ability. Actually, I think his submission ability is a little better than Khabib's. Is it though? Guys, I don't know. They're pretty even, but Islam's a different type of wrestler than Khabib, and I think that the striking between these guys is pretty even. Islam is super underrated on the feet. He has amazing counter striking and pretty good offensive ability too. Now, with that being said, so does Leon, but I think the grappling is what makes the difference here. I don't think Islam would be too much smaller than Leon. I think they would be they'd probably weigh around the same, honestly. I think Leon is a bit taller, but I think Makhachev has the power to muscle him around, and I wouldn't pick either guy to finish each other here. I would pick Islam to edge this out on the scorecards unanimously, and yeah, that's what I think for this matchup, guys. Alright, guys, you know the deal at this point. I'm just letting you guys get a look at the top 5 for welterweight, okay? I'm going to say this, guys. If it lands on Khamzat Chimaev, we're going to roll it again because we all know Chimaev is moving up to middleweight. Let's see who our lightweight contender is going to be. Beneil Dariush. Okay. This is kind of rough because I think Beneil, after that Oliveira fight, kind of doesn't have a lot left in him. Against Gilbert Burns. Okay. This actually isn't too bad. I feel like these are both guys who might be kind of on the decline a little bit. So, yeah, let's see what I think. I'll check back in with you guys. Alright, guys. Beneil Dariush versus Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert Burns wins this fight in a close decision, maybe even a split decision. I think this is an insanely close fight because I think that the striking is pretty even, and I think the grappling is pretty even too. I'm only picking Gilbert because he has faced bigger guys, the guys that we've seen Beneil work on the ground, someone like Gamrot, for example. Gamrot is a lightweight, okay? Gilbert, he's worked guys like Jorge Masvidal, former lightweight, but that fight was at welterweight. And I also think that this fight is pretty even on the feet, okay? I don't think Gilbert packs the biggest punch in the world. Many guys have been able to take his punches, but same for Beneil. So I think it's even on the feet, but I think Gilbert would edge it out. And then on the ground, I think that Beneil is a better pure wrestler when it comes to shooting takedowns and control time. But when it comes to submissions and overall BJJ, I think it goes to Gilbert. So I see this fight going to Gilbert, but I see it being very close, and I also see it being pretty boring. I think this would be a boring matchup. I don't see a finish happening here. Yeah, if you guys agree or disagree, let me know. But I'm taking Gilbert in this fight, all right? Okay, guys, moving up on the list, Leon Edwards versus Sean Strickland. I think Sean Strickland would win this fight just by doing a little bit more, okay? Leon is one of those guys where I feel like he kind of fights to the level of his opponent. You can kind of see that throughout his career, and I don't think he is going to start cranking up the pace a shit ton. Don't get me wrong, I'm picking him to beat Colby, but I don't think that he would be able to outwork Sean. Man, for Leon and Colby, I honestly don't know who to pick yet. Don't take my word on that. I don't know who I'm picking, but for this fight here, I think this fight would be boring as hell, okay? Both of these guys kind of have boring styles, and I just think Sean would win this fight based off of volume. Neither guy has a ton of power. I don't see a finish happening, but I think Sean would just outland him each round, not by a ton, maybe by like 8 or 11 strikes, you know what I mean? Something like that. And with that being said, I just have to go with Sean Strickland. He keeps a better pace on you. He's a much better pressure fighter. Leon is willing to back up, you know. And Sean lands a lot more combos than Leon. Leon's like a 1-2 and then out, you know. He doesn't really stay in the pocket for too long. He'll throw like maybe 3-4 strikes max in the pocket before he starts backing up. Whereas Sean doesn't give much of a fuck. He'll stand in the pocket with you for as long as he wants. He'll either go to sleep or decide when to stop, you know. So I think Strickland wins this fight, but I think that this fight would be very boring. Yeah, someone say something else, because that's what I think. Okay, guys, we're going to pick our welterweight contender that's going to go up against the middleweight contender, and it's going to be it's Belal Muhammed. Whatever, okay. Belal is just a very boring guy to talk about, but it is what it is. All right, it's fine, it's fine. Let's pick our middleweight contender. This could be the most boring fight of all time. Dricus. Okay. If it was going to land on Adesanya, I was going to say, guys, we might be looking at the most boring fight of all time. But Dricus versus Belal. All right, let's break this down. Okay, guys, I purposely left these pictures like this. This was a fun one to play out in my head. I think Belal Muhammad gets crop dusted by Dricus du Plessis, okay? I think, and listen, guys, Dricus was a former welterweight, so I'm not just picking these bigger guys because they're bigger, okay? I think Dricus can KO Belal Muhammad. I think the power difference is way too much, okay? Belal might be faster on the feet because he is coming from a smaller division, a more skilled division, but Dricus is just so unorthodox. If Dricus didn't beat Whittaker, I probably wouldn't pick him to win this fight, but Dricus just TKO'd Whittaker, guys. I can see Dricus just being, as Lucas Tracy would say, a sloppy boppy man on the feet, being so unorthodox and just overwhelming the average Belal. And by the average, I mean the average striking. I don't think Belal has much to offer on the feet for anyone. He has no power. He couldn't finish a one-armed Gilbert Burns. I think the only thing a little bit decent about Belal's game is his kicks. For how stiff he is, he has pretty good kicks. Okay, I'll give him that. But I think just Dricus' will to win and will to finish is insane compared to Belal, okay? Belal is going to expect a technical back-and-forth chess match fight. Dricus is looking in there to just fucking ram him and get him out of there as quick as he can. So I think like I said, I think Dricus has that matador strength and the will to win is on his side. I think he'd do more damage on the ground. You can't tell me Dricus wouldn't fuck up Belal on top position. You know what I mean? Compared to Belal on top position over Dricus, he's just going to sit there and lay in half guard. You know what I mean? But so I just think Dricus would do more damage overall throughout the fight on the ground and on the feet. And Dricus doesn't have to worry about he doesn't have to worry about Belal's power, okay? He doesn't have to think twice about it. Dricus can take a shot. You know what I mean? He's gotten hit in all his fights. He took Till's left hand, which, sure, Till is Till, but it's still Till's left hand. You know, he took Whittaker's shots. He ate the 1-2 head kick combo that everyone thought was going to get him out of there. He ate it like a tic-tac, all right? Plus, Belal is older, guys. Belal is not some young, up-and-coming contender. Belal's 35 years old, you know what I mean? And he's been dropped before. He's been TKO'd before. So I'm taking Dricus to win this fight. And I honestly don't see it being all that close. Okay, guys, moving on up in the video. Sean Strickland versus Jamahal Hill, who will not be the champion. He has vacated the title. As you guys know, it's going to be Yuri versus Pereira for the belt. But until that fight takes place, he is the champion, okay? So we're going to roll with it for this video. And guys, I realize I've just been picking the bigger guy, and I feel bad, but I'm just looking at these fights stylistically, guys. Even if they're the same size, assuming Jamahal still has the power advantage, I think that this simply is for Jamahal Hill, okay? I think Jamahal Hill wins this fight by KO. If Izzy was still the champ, there'd be kind of something to talk about more. But both of these guys are very conventional strikers, and they don't offer anything too special. They're just super good at the basics. They would both admit that. I'm not hating at all by saying that, guys. They both are just conventional. And I don't think there's very much to say about this matchup other than Hill has the power advantage. So I'd pick Jamahal Hill to win this fight by TKO in the fourth round. Fourth round, I get the feeling. Alright, guys, I'm going to let you get a look at the top 5 for the light heavyweight division. I accidentally made the text smaller, but let's pick our matchup, okay? In the middleweight division, it's going to be starting off with Dricus Robert Whittaker. That was looking like Plessis. Whittaker has actually talked about moving up to 205 in the past, so maybe one of these guys could be a future opponent, and maybe I call this fight perfectly. Oh no. Okay, guys, this will be an interesting one to break down, okay? Robert Whittaker versus Alex Pereira. I feel like I used to have a set in stone lock for this matchup when Pereira was champion, but I think things are a little different now, so let's take a look. Alright, guys, Pereira versus Whittaker. This was a fight that most likely would have happened if Pereira would have defeated Ciryl Adesanya the second time they fought in the UFC. Unfortunately, my boy, guys, that fight was CGI. The Pereira Adesanya 2 fight, that fight didn't actually happen. It was CGI. So, anyways, I think Alex Pereira wins this fight. Now, when Alex Pereira initially became champion, I and many others would have chosen Whittaker, okay? Because though Whittaker is a smaller guy, the grappling, all right? But nowadays, we've seen Whittaker get beaten at middleweight, and we've seen Alex have amazing grappling defense over a guy, I don't want to say better than Whittaker in the grappling, but not known for the grappling is Whittaker. Whittaker does not do much on the ground. He doesn't have much finishing ability on the ground. Now, Alex is such a newbie that I would have chosen him when Pereira was champion. But at this point in time, I think Alex Pereira chins this dude. Left hook to the dome within 3 rounds. Pereira is just too much of a presence in there. And I hope you guys agree with me here, because I don't see Whittaker's path to victory here, being how both of these guys' last fight went. Yeah, I'm going Pereira on this one by knockout. Alright guys, another matchup that is kind of a given these days, but I want to break this down a little more because right now Jon Jones beats Jamahal Hill, probably submits him. The experience and the grappling favor Jon. On the feet, I actually think they're pretty even. They're both pretty conventional. Jon has a little more spinning attacks, but I think on the feet, it's honestly pretty even. Jon is not a striking specialist, okay? And if he looks like one, it's because he's fighting fat middleweights. Just putting it out there. But I do think it's worth noting that Jon Jones, the guy that lost to Dominic Reyes, look, I think Jon was about to lose to Jan Blachowicz if he didn't start his heavyweight hiatus. Now, of course, that is when Jon was a light heavyweight, and things are different now. He's a heavyweight, so we kind of have to look at him a little differently. But I think Jon Jones was on his way to losing to Jan Blachowicz or Yuri Prochazka if he would have beat Blachowicz. So if Jon stayed at light heavyweight, I think he would have lost to these new gen guys because they were starting to catch up to him. But at heavyweight, he is a bit of a different beast, and he's used to the light heavyweight skill set. You know, he's the light heavyweight GOAT. So he knows exactly what to expect from the light heavyweights, and especially someone very conventional like Jamahal Hill. You have to go with Jon Jones in this one, guys. All right, guys. And to end off our final contender versus contender matchup, let's see which light heavyweight is going to be facing which heavyweight. Okay, it's going to be Alexandre Rakic. All right. And who's he going to be fighting against? Let's take a look. Alexandre Rakic versus... Oh, is it Plotty Man Blades? Oh, it's Ciryl Gane. Okay, guys, I think we're going to be choosing the lighter guy. Okay, guys, Ciryl Gane versus Alexandre Rakic, our final contender matchup of this video. This is a pretty interesting matchup, and I was leaning towards Rakic, but then I was like, who is he really grappled against or outstruck? I don't think that the grappling would affect Ciryl Gane. There was a point in time after the Jones fight where we were thinking anyone who can grapple a little bit would be able to out-wrestle Ciryl Gane. But I think that this fight would go pretty similar to Gane versus Spivak. Gane is just a beast on the feet. He's the best heavyweight striker we've ever seen. I'm willing to say that. And as of right now, unless he gets beat. But, you know, Rakic is really not... Okay, this says really a grappling master. It's supposed to say really not the grappling master that I don't think it's nothing Gane hasn't seen. I think it'd be like when Potty Man Spivak was shooting his takedowns in the middle of the octagon and just getting it stuffed. So I think Gane would win this fight by TKO within 3 rounds. Up against the fence, teeing off. I think he'd work the body, and you know, his ribs are there to be hit. Rakic is a pretty skinny guy at light heavyweight. So that's what I think, guys. I think Gane wins this fight. With that being said, one last time, let's look at this graph, okay, before we wrap up this video. A ton of guys watching aren't actually subscribed to the channel. If you made it this far, you might as well subscribe, all right? So, yeah, let's fix that issue. With that being said, thank you all for watching, all right? This video has been really fun to make. It took a long time. I know it's been pretty long. This is the longest video I've ever made. But, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out, all right?